Pascagoula and Gaucher high schools will deploy these devices daily starting in January. The district says it plans to expand its middle schools next August. An Australian defense leader made a trip to the Gulf Coast in an effort to encourage Mississippi companies to get involved in global security projects. Matt Catangelo works with the Australian Embassy in Washington, D.C. He spoke to several company leaders in Gulfport today about how they can be innovators of technologies that support national security and future military operations. It's all part of AUKUS, a security alliance between Australia, the U.S., and the U.K. Catangelo says some Mississippi companies are already playing a role.
This is very large, so there's a multitude of contracts both with the U.S. Department of War that flow here, potentially could result in business, but also there's business potentially for Mississippi companies coming over to Australia and participating with our Australia Defence Force.
We have an opportunity to be a welcoming spot for Australian industry that wants to come in, and then also create relationships where we can export some of the technology and research over to Australia.
Gulf Blue and the University of Southern Mississippi hosted today's event.